Hi guys, it's Bridget. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all having an awesome day. And today we're doing another unfiltered opinions on new makeup releases. I'm going to talk about some new stuff coming out in the makeup world, give my first thoughts on it, and yeah, that's what we're doing today. Also, I am considering, so for your consideration, let me know down below, I'm considering doing a separate video on ranking or reacting to holiday, like Halloween specific releases, since there is so many, and not all of them are going to be covered in today's video, obviously, because it's a bunch. So if you want to see a separate video on that, let me know. If you don't, also let me know, and let's go ahead and get started. As always, I do want to give a quick mention to my shop, theopencrypt.com. I just restocked a whole bunch of candles, wax melts, earrings, and soaps as well. So if you guys are interested in anything spooky, it is my time of year, you guys. It's when I'm putting the most effort into everything, and it's just like, it's my time of year, and it's time of year for my shop to, like, you know, hopefully grow, because I am spooky themed all year long. So without any further ado, guys, let's get started with the first makeup thing, which is from Essence. So Essence, I didn't think of them when I saw this. I thought this was a Too Faced product, and Essence is way more affordable, so I'm, you know, happy for that. Also, we have Tiffany in the background, which is super cute. So this is the new Coffee to Glow collection from Essence. It's fall themed, the coffee scent. So it has an under eye treatment, a glow face scrub, lip scrub, highlighter brush, a scented highlighter brush, it says, which scented brushes, that doesn't make any sense to me personally. Highlighter beans, you know, other stuff, and an eyeshadow palette. To me, this reads more high-end, like a Too Faced product, like I said, than Essence. I mean, for Essence prices, I think this is going to be absolutely fantastic. I'm all for caffeinated beauty products. Like, my favorite sheet masks in the world are caffeinated. Something about it is really good, and I love the smell of coffee. So for me, this is like a really cute release. I think it's adorable. And for the price tag, like, you can't go wrong. I hope it's at Ulta, though, because, I don't know. I feel like when it's something like Essence, I just want to buy it at Ulta. It's like a good add-on order, I guess. I don't love this as much as you think I would from the beautiful kaleidoscope box on it. So this is from Colourpop. It's one of their mega palettes, and their mega palettes are one of my favorite things from Colourpop. I love them, and I love the newest one they just released. But this one is a mega palette and a primer. So they have a party proof new face primer, which I'm interested in. I'm always interested in new primers. But the main star of this whole thing is this beautiful palette. It is called the Play It Jewel palette. And from the name of it, you think, and the front of it being like kaleidoscope things, you think it's going to be beautiful jewel tones. To me, it's mostly neutrals, and then the jewel tones are very muted, not very punched in. Like, when I think jewel tones, I think of like peacock colors, very rich berries, very emeraldy greens, very deep blues. And for me, the palette's just a little underwhelming, and it's like mostly browns for being jewel tones. So it doesn't really speak to me very well. Like, I might like it. Like, these are colors I would use all the time. Like, I do not use like neons all the time. These are definitely more Bridget friendly colors, you know? But it's just nothing like I'm in love with, but I would use it a lot. So torn on this one, because I don't feel like it just fits the name enough. Okay, first Halloween launchy thing that we're talking about, and this is also on Ulta's website, because I checked their new releases this morning, and some of the products from this collection, not the whole thing, but like the makeup bag and like one of the palettes is on Ulta's site. So this is from Makeup Revolution, and this, oh yeah, it does say on this thing that some are available at Ulta. It's the Simpsons, like the Treehouse of Horror Simpsons holiday Halloween things. So I love The Simpsons. I've watched it since I was a child, and probably I shouldn't have, because, you know, there is inappropriate things in The Simpsons, but, like, I've always loved it. Courtland and I still watch it all the time. Like, if we're grilling and stuff, like, that's what we have on in the background while we're cooking, and it's just, like, one of our favorite things to watch together, and I've always watched it my entire life, so I love The Simpsons, and, like, Treehouse of Horror is one of my favorite things in the world, because it's, like, so good. They're so campy. I love the little mini stories. It's like Creepshow, but animated, you know? And I really enjoy it. And also, if you go on Disney Plus, like we have Disney Plus, there's a whole Treehouse of Horror thing. You can just watch them all through. I've seen them all a million times. They're so good. So I'm a little bit biased, but I love this collection, except the main palette. So I think the highlighter, the Barton Lisa little skull highlighter palette is super cute. The little Squid Maggie palette are cute. I don't care for the Marge glasses. I think the face palette's beautiful. The little mini eyeshadow palettes are absolutely adorable, and I love the color schemes in them. Like, we have one that's more browns and blacks and grays. We have one that's more orange, greens, purples, and neutrals, which is such a fall vibe. It's just the main palette I don't care for. Like, the donut head Homer thing just kind of matches the rest of Makeup Revolution's products, so it makes sense to me, even though it's not something I find aesthetically too pleasing. I don't like the main palette, like this big main palette, because it just doesn't scream Treehouse of Horror to me. Like Treehouse of Horror, I would expect more greens and purples and grays and yellows, you know, like that's the kind of colors I would expect for it. For me, for Treehouse of Horror, this is way too many pinks and reds. Like it's a lot of pinks and reds. I don't necessarily understand the bright blues in here either. So for me, it just doesn't, you know, and I don't get it. I know Marge's hair is blue, but that's not necessarily what I would associate with a Treehouse of Horror thing, even though I do think the makeup bag is precious. Next up is from HipDot, and you know I have a vendetta against HipDot. But tell me why every single comment on this post are exactly the same, because it looks like a Kat Von D palette, back when it was Kat Von D and not just KVD Beauty. This is the HipDot Addams Family collection. I love Addams Family. I mean, I really do. I mean, I especially love the live action original 60s TV show. I think it was 60s. I think it was 60s. Original TV show. That was so good. So good. I love the original Morticia. And I also love, like, you know, the more modern movies and such. We just watched the, like, second Addams Family cartoon in theaters the other night because, you know, had to when it came out. So I love Addams Family, and I just love the aesthetic of the family. I don't love HipDot, and I don't love this collection. You know, like, I expect more. Like, this does read, like, what you, I guess if you're not too familiar with Addams Family, this does read Addams Family, I guess. To me, the color scheme, the palette doesn't make any sense. Like, why is there pinks and an orange and stuff in here? Even a silver I don't really see for Addams Family very much. The lipsticks are cute. The whole coffin-shaped thing, though, the coffin-shaped box for the collector's set is very Kat Von D, though. It's been done. I feel like they just reused something that's already been done. Because, again, you know, HipDot isn't that original. They just paste stuff on stuff. So, yeah, this looks like a different version of the original MCR palette that they had, slapped onto a Kat Von D box, and you called it Addams Family. And also the palette looks really thick in the box, so I'm not here for this at all. I guess the names are okay for the palette. It's Ashes, Cauldron, Bones, Moon, Seance, Ghoul, Karamia, and Beloved. I think I would drop the words Ashes, Moon, Cauldron, and Ghoul, and Bones. I would rename those things entirely to more Addams Family references. The Karamia obviously makes sense to me, and Beloved makes sense, but I just don't think it screams someone who knows Addams Family. For me, this just screams, oh, let's just make a black and red and palette and just call it a day. Lazy. Lazy. Sorry about it. Am I gatekeeping this entire video about things I know too much about? I don't feel like I am. I'm just not impressed. Alright, so holiday collections are already starting. So we're going to talk about those. And I'm not talking about holidays. It's my holiday Halloween. I'm talking about, like, Christmas and stuff. Those things are already starting. Which I guess is okay, because I am one of those people who likes to buy things ahead. But I don't want to see it in stores. You know, like, you can release your makeup holiday collections for, like, Christmas and stuff out online all year long. I wouldn't care that much, I guess. It's just when I walk in October and see Christmas decorations taking over the aisles that used to be Halloween in the beginning of October, it gives me an anger that I can't describe. So let's talk about this Christmas release, and hopefully I don't see it in stores, it's just online. But this is the new Too Faced Christmas Coffee palette. Now, Too Faced is going to release a million Christmas sets, they always do. But this Christmas Coffee palette I actually think is super, super cute. Like, I don't like the cover being a light blue and then nothing in the inside is light blue. Like, I like the palette cover to correlate with what's on the inside, at least somewhat. To me, this doesn't. Like, the cover is, you know, pink and blue, and nothing in the palette is pink and blue because Too Faced doesn't really do bright, colorful palettes that often. But I do like the color scheme on the inside. I think it's really cute. It's $27. It smells like Christmas morning coffee, which sounds like it smells good, just maybe a little too cinnamony for me. So yeah, I think it's cute. I just wish the palette matched the palette inside. Okay, so this is new from Lunar Beauty. Now, I saw this late and I haven't watched the reveal video yet. I've been real busy. But this is the new Lunar Beauty Moonspell Palette Volume 2. The Moonspell palette is one of my favorite things in my collection. It's aesthetically gorgeous, okay? And I love the color scheme. I love the inspiration for all the names being behind, like, witches and stuff, and I think that's beautiful. Oh, the packaging, though, is absolutely out of this world. So this is a new volume 2. It is $48. Lunar Beauty's website does have Afterpay, though, which is awesome to know. For me, I do like the color scheme. I think it's very fun for being a holiday, like Halloween spooky release. I don't personally wear much pinks or purples though on my eyes, so I'm not really sure how much use I'd get out of it, but I'm in love with this formula, especially those shimmers. So I'm kind of torn on this one. I feel like I need it because I do have all the rest of the Lunar Beauty palettes, but it doesn't really match what I would wear on the regular. But I'm still tempted because of this beautiful spellbook packaging, like it's gorge. I want him to release like nude liquid lips or like, you know, different liquid lipsticks other than like reds and stuff and glosses, you know. Ew, Esri! My little girl cat just drooled on me, y'all. She drooled on me. I give her kisses, she punishes me with drool, okay? Sorry about that. Okay, so next up is the Orchid You Are Not palette from Colourpop, the whole collection. I did do this Get Ready With Me video where I tried it out, as well as the new Kaleidos makeup lipsticks and stuff. So if you want to see that, I have that video. I also did the Hocus Pocus collection from Colourpop, even though I didn't expect to review it, you know. So next up is from Morphe and Jaclyn Hill. Again. Again, okay. So honestly, I don't have an issue with Jaclyn Hill as a person. I find her very entertaining. I do understand that the mishaps in the past are absolutely a ton, and I do feel like she must have known that like the Vault collection wasn't it, you know. But this is a new Morphe collection. I will not purchase. I'm not wearing my ring. I'm still married. I will not be purchasing anything from Morphe until that James Charles palette is gone. Oh, it's on sale. It's been on sale for freaking months, and it's not even that discounted yet. Like, put the thing to like $5 and let's move on. Anyways, that's why I'm not purchasing anything from Morphe, but I don't have an issue with Jaclyn Hill. This is the new Divine Neutrals eyeshadow palette. It is $18 with 12 neutral shades, 6 shimmers, and 6 mattes. I do love the fact that the top row is mattes, the bottom row is shimmers. I think it's very pretty, and for being a neutral palette, this is gorgeous. Like, this is gorgeous. Like, people are gonna be like, oh, it's boring, we have those shades. Totally, I know, I totally do. But the composition of how these look is absolutely beautiful, and I love it. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't want it, because I do. Like, oh, those swatches make it look even better. I feel like it looks so much deeper on the swatches than it does in the pans, but that could just be the lighting on it. Like, this is beautiful. Like, it's a beautiful palette, and I love the price tag on it. I just won't be supporting Morphe while the James Charles stuff is still in my face every time I walk into an Ulta. Next up is another Makeup Revolution collaboration. We just talked about the Simpsons one, but this is from their other, you know, they have like 8 side brands. This is XX Revolution in collaboration with The Matrix. Again, who asked for this? Who asked for this? Okay, so this Matrix collab, it says Matrix in the pans and the palette, which is weird. I don't understand the color scheme whatsoever. Like, I remember The Matrix being a very not colorful movie. You know, it just wasn't. I mean, there's always the green scenes and stuff, you know, but all the pinks and purples and stuff, I don't really get that. So there's a lot of pinks and purples in here. I just don't think this makes any sense. There's more of a neutral palette too, but again, it still has pinks and blues and stuff in it. I just don't understand what's going on with this whatsoever, and it's ugly. Like, I don't find this attractive at all. Like, the sponges are cute, but they're just colored sponges, so I don't know who asked for this. If you like it, let me know down below what you like about it, because to me, this looks crazy and weird. Oh my god, I haven't talked about this. Okay. Everyone tagged me in this first palette, because they came out with 4 palettes. They came out with 4 palettes, sorry. And when the first one was announced, everyone tagged me in it, which is nice. Thank you guys. So I've seen this, and I really want to buy 2 of them, and I'll let you guess which ones it is. So this is the new Happy Hour collection from Glamlite. Glamlite's formula is like chef's kiss gorgeous, but the new Happy Hour collection has like, what's they're called? The Wine Palette, Dirty Martini, Chocolate Martini, and Margarita. I want the chocolate martini and then the dirty martini. So I want the neutral brown ones with the golds in it, as well as the green one. The green one is beautiful. I could really do without the purple one, which would be the wine one, or the margarita palette, which is more the pinks and the greens. or pinks and blues, sorry. I do think both those palettes are pretty, and I think the purple one actually, like, composition-wise stands out on its own as, like, a really pretty purple palette, even though that's not, like, my thing all the time. For me, I love the chocolate one because it is so beautiful and rich, and I love the variety of cool tones and warm tones in the mattes with the beautiful shimmers and that pop of gold. I think it's beautiful, and because Glamlite shimmers are out of this world. But for me, like, the Dirty Martini green one is, like, so pretty. Like, would I wear it every day? Probably not as much as I would wear the chocolate one every day. But when I want that green moment, I feel like this is such a beautiful signature palette. And it has those richer tones, which a lot of times when you have green palettes, you get, like, an olive, a lime, and then, like, a forest one. This one has different shades in it, and it has one that pulls more towards a blue, which I just think is so beautiful, and I really like it. Anyways, you guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I feel like we covered a lot, you know. I still feel like there's more stuff to talk about, so maybe I'll do another one of these soon. I just feel like I missed a lot in the last, like, 2 weeks or so. But thank you guys so much. I hope you have an awesome day wherever you are. If you want to check out my shop, theopencrypt.com, I'll leave a link down below, and you can follow us on Instagram. And have an awesome and safe day out there wherever you are, guys. See, I filmed for too long, and then I can't talk.